Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to VidaneTV. Back here for a Tuesday night, a little different speed, shifting gears as it were here for the Tim's Corner Motorsports Legends Challenge. 75 laps on the docket for the big show here this evening. A little bit of heat racing, a couple of consolation races to find out which 21 of these drivers are going to be racing here in the big show tonight. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth, and I am not alone for the first time, well, in a couple of weeks here, it seems like, in the production booth. Jesse joining me here tonight. Jesse, how we feeling tonight, brother?
Things are going good, Paul. It's great to be out here in the virtual West Coast of the United States of Freedom. We got legend cars here in Las Vegas. This is awesome. We got a big field here tonight. 75 laps, as you mentioned, but we are going to qualify our drivers. I think we're taking only the top three through these heat races. A couple of consies. We'll take another half dozen from each of those, and that will make up our nearly 2 dozen driver field for tonight. But before we get to that, let's introduce our drivers.
Take a quick look at the front row. Carson Nagy, quick time so far here this evening in the 039. Check that, the 093 car. He's going to start on the front row. Devin Laughing on his outside. Chris Roma, Danny Vitch, Colton Everingham up there in the overall point standings, the top five. And we are green flag racing already. Legends cars for the first time in a very, very long time here on VidaneTV. Going to be a lot of fun to watch these guys get around this track.
A little further back, Everingham already trying to make moves on the back bumper of Chris Roma. Roma, part of the Roma Brothers Racing Entries. The 83 car is no slouch wherever it goes virtually, and Chris Roma has a mirror full of Colton Everingham. The 48 is a driver on a mission here tonight, just outside of the transfer spot at the moment.
You can see Everingham going to take a peek down low. The guy with the best view of the race so far here tonight. Going to be Bubbles up in the flag stand here once again. Bubbles tuning in over on the Twitch. Got to thank everybody tuning in. We're live all over the place here this evening. We're live on Facebook for both Tim's Corner Motorsports as well as VidaneTV. We're live on Twitch, twitch.tv/strictly94. And we're live over on the VidaneTV YouTube page. Just do a quick search for VidaneTV Live and it'll pop right up. You can pull it up on the smart TV, on the tablet, on your cell phone, wherever you may be watching. And it's always cool here too, Jesse, because a lot of times you'll see some of these drivers that are out there on track. They'll hop out after a heat race and jump in the chat and let everybody know how their car's feeling.
Absolutely, it's all part of the fun here, and a driver who's having a little bit of fun here tonight is that 83 once again, Chris Roma, getting the position back on the 48 of Everingham. Everingham gets a little bit of a run, can't make it stick in that 48 car. Danny Veach, I'm sure, is sitting back there really licking his chops, really wanting to make up a spot or two on these drivers, but the laps are winding down. 2 to go this time. Carson Nagy leads Devin Laughing.
Great opportunity for these guys to do a little bit of homework, find out how these cars are going to handle, especially these top three guys that have pulled away by just a little bit. Popsicle Sticks, 2 laps to go here in the first heat race. It's been relatively clean so far all night long. White flag or white rag, and Nagy's got himself a bit of breathing room in behind.
Down the backstretch one final time. Canada's own Carson Nagy down into 3 through 4. He'll pick up the first heat win of the evening. Checkers in the air. Carson Nagy to the victory here tonight. Devin Laughing and Chris Roma going to hold on for that final transfer position. Colton Everingham, Danny Veach, your top 5. Wow, what a great field here tonight, but looking through this field, a driver further back, Matt Barkhouse. Uncharacteristic to see him outside of a qualifying position. He'll have some work to do in the Consi a little bit later on, trying to make one of the 21 spots. Well, now there's about 18 spots left up for grabs, so we'll see what happens here tonight. But just like that, heat race number 2 rolls out onto the speedway.
And Ashton Tucker going to be up front with some familiar company. Couple of quick times up in the front. Tan Wildridge going to start on the outside there as well. Brianna Regal going to roll off P3 with Colin Matthews on the outside of row number 2. Dave Cassidy, Dylan Black, Terry Duguay, Quentin Carpenter, Trevor Smith, and Chris Ewing going to round out the 10 drivers here in heat race number 2. Going to find out which 3 are going to transfer on into the big show and, well, find out who else is going to be trying to race their way in with a couple of last chance for romance, a couple of consolation races here once these heat races are in the book. We're already 1 to go, lights out on the pace car, getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down to the safety of pit road and turn these drivers loose.
Yeah, they'll come by the start-finish line one more time. It's funny, Ashton Tucker, a Bandolero champion, obviously up into the Pro Stock Super Late Model ranks in the real world, has had a lot of success, but not a lot of real-world Legend Car starts. I don't know if he's ever made a Legend Car start, but we're going to find out how sharp he is here tonight. He's got one of the best of his outside, Tant Woolridge in that zero car, the Summerside driver. Going to line up on the outside of row number 1. Through 3 this time. Out of 4, one more time. Green flag in the air, and we are racing.
8 laps on the docket here for heat race number 2. You can see Ashton Tucker able to pull away, able to clear that number 56 of Tanton Woolridge, but Woolridge going to jump on the outside, fake him out just a little bit, take a shot down low, go all the way down to the apron to try and take that inside line away. He's going to try and slide up, give him the lap that time, and give him the lead as the caution flag flies for the very first time this evening.
Yeah, we get the yellow silk here for the first time this evening at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We will have a look here with the replay. We'll see here Dylan Black. Ooh, Terry Duguay driving it in a little deep. Duguay up over the wheels, and no harm, no foul, but it does send a couple of drivers further back than they wanted, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. Another shot at the contact here. You can see the 14 just gets in the 08. Man, back it up, Terry. Put it in reverse. Up into the outside wall. So a tough break for the 08 car of Dylan Black. Terry Duguay in the 14 car as well. Going to have some damage here. Probably going to see those guys get everything re-racked and restacked for one of the consolation races coming up here.
Betty White went for quite a ride there in that caution. So we'll find out here how Betty White in the 08 car can do. Green flag back in the air. Woolridge and Tucker in command of this one so far. Brianna Weigel, great job for her. She's driving up through the field, up into the transfer spot so far. Trevor Smith in the 44. Trevor Smith trying to get up another position. We got one spinning around further back. I believe we're going to stay green past the halfway point of this one, but Trevor Smith is on the move. He's just got to dig a little deeper and pick up position number 3, trying to lock himself in. 3 to go this time. Ashton Tucker at the helm of heat race number 2.
Tucker and Woolridge bumper to bumper up towards the front, holding on to the 1 and 2 positions. Woolridge goes high, nothing quite there. Brianna Weigel holding on to the transfer spot for right now, has a little bit of breathing room in behind, a little bit of a gap there. Back to Dave Cassidy. They were side by side for 5th and 6th, so Brianna Weigel just has to hold on for 2 more laps here, get into the main show, and up front, white flag, white rag for that number 32 car of Ashton Tucker.
Tucker comes off 4 this time. He'll see the white flag in the air. 1 to go, but he's got Woolridge to the inside. Hello, Summerside. Down to the bottom groove on the 0 car, the 56 in sim, and Woolridge makes the pass down the backstretch, down into 3. Tanton Woolridge making the move when it matters. Checkered flag in the air. Tanton Woolridge ends up with the win. Weigel 2nd, Cassidy 3rd, and what happened to Ashton Tucker? Outside of the transfer spot, coming to the line. Did he maybe pull a Mark Martin there and think that the race was over before it was? What happened? We're going to look here, head down the backstretch. The GX number 32 way up the racetrack and cost himself a few positions and is going to have to go back to the Consi now. This is ending up going to be a stacked Consi here a little bit later on, but race number 3 is on track.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen something like that. Got into 3 and 4, went high, and kind of moved on over. So we will see him in the consolation race later on here tonight. Brandon Campbell, the 99 car, going to roll off P1 here in the 3rd heat race. The number 18 car of Josh Langell there on the outside. Tully in the 3rd position. Justin Cormier and Justin Collison going to be the top 5 as we roll off.
We got Ashton Reiki, Travis Turple, Dave Horton, Martin Landry, Guillaume Fortin in the 13 car, going to line up near the rear of the field. Keep an eye on Brandon Campbell and Josh Langell. They have a bit of a fun rivalry. Josh Langell, a pretty experienced legend car driver, along with his brother, but Brandon Campbell has some experience, 1, 2, maybe 3 races in a legend car, but he knows how to get around these virtual racetracks. He'll line up position number 1, and the iRacing pace car is going to pull off here in just a moment's time. Once again, taking 3 drivers from these heat races. 3 to qualify, then 6 from each consi, and that will make the field. That's it, 21 cars. They'll send them off, but we're going to find out who's going to start where. Green flag in the air. Campbell shot out of a cannon, and the New Brunswick driver is into position number 1.
Battle already half won for the 99 of Brandon Campbell. That car is running and rolling, leading laps here early on. Caution flag flies early, though, before we get to the first lap here. Ashton Reiki, our very own Ashton Reiki, in the 29 car, getting spun on around. We'll take a quick peek here at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. They see the 26 up into the back bumper of the 17. They kind of drive up over each other. There's the 8 car getting a little piece of the action, spinning on around, full 360. Grabs a gear and gets on going once again. You can see Ashton Reiki pulling out in front of, or behind the pace car there. So may very well have lost a lap in that 26 car. We'll have to double check on that. Nope, I'm wrong. Still on the lead lap, but trouble for the 26 car of Ashton Reiki.
Unfortunate to see that so early on. I know Ash was he needed a little bit of work with the setup of this race car. Is it a fixed setup race, I believe? But Riki's going to join the rear of the field. He'll have work to do to get up into that top 3. But just like that, we are off and running once again. Brandon Campbell protecting position number 1, and Josh Langell going to hold on to second for the moment. Craig Tully in the catbird seat, but Guillaume Fortin, what a drive from 9th on the grid, knocking on the door of a qualifying position. He will get there. Are we going to stay green? The 8 car of Turple goes around. Travis Turple stopped on the exit of turn number 4. We'll stay green. We'll keep going. He's going to try and get going the right way, but back up front, Josh Langell is hounding the 99 car of Brandon Campbell. Campbell holds on to the lead for now, but Josh Langell wants position number 1, and he wants it bad.
Ever since the drop of the restart here, that 18 car has been all over the back bumper of the 99, seeing inching ever so close as we get popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go here at the Bullring. Langell going to take a peek down low. He's committed. He's going to take that bottom side of the racetrack, seeing if there's anything he can do to try and get around Campbell. This is both A, to win the heat race, and B, do a little bit of homework. Try and figure out what these cars are going to do after a 10-15 lap run here later on in the main event. These guys need to know what these tires are going to feel like and how and if they're going to be able to pass and when they need to make their final moves. But for right now, give that checkered flag to the 99 after one last little bit of a challenge from the 18. Campbell going to win heat race number 3. Langell and Fortin going to be the top 3, transferring on into the big show here later on this evening. And it's coming up relatively soon. Just a pair of consolation races coming up here on the docket.
Yeah, we don't mess with intermission. We don't mess with any of that. We don't have any virtual merch to sell. Maybe you've got some merch to sell while we're talking about these consies, but you know what? We got some more drivers to try and qualify here. Relatively clean, a couple of incidents. But just like that, we're going to refill the field, re-rack them, send them back out for a couple more opportunities to make the big dance tonight. 75 laps the distance for the Legend Car drivers here on VidaneTV.
Going to add just a couple of laps here. Going to stick with 10 drivers, though. Colton Evernham going to start P1 with Craig Tully there on the outside. Dylan Black, Brett Byron, and Dave Horton going to be the top 5 kicking things off.
Yeah, these drivers are antsy now. They want to get up to the front of the field and get into that big show. They don't want to be watching on VidaneTV. They want to be racing in the event. They want to be seen on VidaneTV later on tonight. But these drivers are going to roll off. Dylan Black down to the extreme bottom of the racetrack. Evernham trying to follow him there as well. Interesting tactics. But we'll see what race control has in the ears of these drivers. 1 to go signal should be given this time. Lights will be out on the iRacing pace car. Colton Evernham warming up the tires, and Craig Tully to the outside position number 2.
Yeah, you can see Evernham kind of playfully going all the way down the apron there. As they say at the Outdoor Traveler, right? He's just goofing. You can't get mad at a goof. It's just a goof. down there warming the tires up just a little bit. There goes the pace car going down to the safety of pit road. Going to turn these drivers loose. 11 laps on the docket here for these consolation races. Top 6 transfer on in to the big show, and Evernham doing exactly what he needs on the start, pulling away by about 3-4 car lengths heading into 1.
Yeah, and what's good about this is the sim controls the start, so as soon as the pace car pulls off, lights are on, you can go, you can take off, and everybody's going to space themselves out a little bit. Evernham has pulled away to a couple of car lengths lead, about 0.6 of a second now over Craig Tully. Dylan Black in as well. Brett Byron in the 22, a real-world Bandolero driver, driving the legend car here tonight. Byron looking for a good starting spot, but we've got trouble in behind, Paul.
Yeah, Quentin Carpenter up to the outside wall there in the 122 car. Going to back up to U-House Racing Designs instant replay and find out exactly what went down there. You can see kind of calamity's cornerback here. A lot of different drivers going for the same piece of real estate. A little bit of a bumpski there from the 44 car. Here comes the 17 after trying to collect that ride. That was going to be Justin Cormier in the 17 car up into the fence. We'll back that up one more time because we can do that here with live TV. You can see almost trying to jump down low to avoid the contact and loses control, loses grip in those front tires and comes right back up into the wreck he was trying to avoid. So a good plan, maybe a 5 out of 10 on execution there.
Yeah, I think he needed a bit more tires on that one. So that didn't work out for him. We'll see if he can make his way up into the top 6 now, but green flag is back in the air. Evernham shot out of a cannon one more time down the backstretch and maintains the lead over Dylan Black. Craig Tully in the 50 car. Now under a bit of pressure from Scott Negus in the 55. That red number 55 has been in the shadows a little bit tonight, trying to qualify for the big dance later on tonight.
And number 69 car right now is the transfer spot being held on by Brandon Weigel. Brett Byron there as well. A little side-by-side action behind Negus. That's exactly what he wants to see. The more they go side-by-side behind him, that's more that protects his spot. But Dave Horton in the 73, he's going to try and take a peek down low on the 22 car. That 22 now holds the transfer spot. Oh, the 75 down and around underneath the apron, loses control. I don't believe we'll get a caution for that because it's outside the racing group here with 3 to go.
Petrocan number 73 going to rejoin the rear of the field. Tough break for Dave Horton. Our leader, Colton Evernham, slides up the racetrack, much like we saw with Ashton Tucker and Craig Tully to the inside now. That 50 car trying to take the top spot, but the caution flag comes out one more time. Negus in the 55. Looks like he had a bit of an incident. We'll find out with the U-House Racing instant replay in VidaneTV. We'll see what happens here with Brendan Weigel in car number 69. So they race close, down into 3. And Weigel just kind of not really involved in that one. Oh, and crushed by the 17 car. So tough break to both of those drivers to end up in that position, but not the way they wanted to end their chances as we run out of laps probably towards the end of this one.
Yeah, I think we get 1, maybe 2 attempts at a green-white checker here. You can see the pace car shutting the lights off. We're lining them up 2 by 2 all the way through. Evernham in the 48 car going to elect to take the bottom. Craig Tully up on the top side. The 08 of Black is there. The 69 of Weigel is there. The 22 of Byron is there. Cormier holding on to the transfer spot for right now. Negus has retired from the event. Issues for the 55 car. That leaves 9 with a shootout. Here we go. Coming to the stripe. 2 laps to go in the first consi.
Green flag back in the air, and these drivers are going to fight tooth and nail rather for every position. Caution flag comes back out. More issues for the 17. It is not his night. I'm sure Race Control is going to keep an eye on that one, Paul. Let's check the replay.
Yeah, you can see just right off the rip. Well, big tumble. We're going to have to take a couple looks at this. A huge tumble. Still going. Sticks to land.
And lands it on all 4. Look at that.
9.5 out of 10.
You know what? We got to send that to the top 10 for iRacing. That's got to be included.
1,000%. We got to look on board, right? Here you go, trying to hold on to it. Just gets up there and ground. Oh, my goodness. Sky, a lot of sky, some ground. There's some stands. Hello, sticks to land. Grabs a gear. and it still runs.
Don't look directly at the rotation, folks.
A little bit of a microburst, as it were. Pace car down on pit road. Gonna stack them up one more time and see what we get. Green flag flying, and Evernham getting another good restart. And that's good schooling for later on tonight. If we do get a couple of cautions, these guys will get a little bit of extra restart practice, too.
I'm going to call it a little bit early. I don't know if Evernham will appreciate this, but I think he's going to be a bit of a dark horse here tonight. The 48 has been real strong in the restarts, and that could be the advantage he looks for later on. We head to the final lap down the backstretch here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Bullring. Try saying that 10 times fast. Checkered flag in the air, camera flashes out, and Evernham is going to spin across the line in style and collect the victory in Consi number 1.
Say it 10 times fast. I can hardly say it 1 time fast. Evernham, Tully, Black, Weagle, Byron, and Horton going to be the 6 drivers that transfer on into the main event here tonight. And that leaves one more stack of 10 drivers that are going to try and get their way into the big show this evening. And we're getting ready to line them up right now.
Consolation race number 2. And not where we wanted to see this driver, but Ashton Tucker going to line up position number 1. Danny Veitch in P2. Justin Collison in the 3rd spot. Colin Matthews in 4th. Matt Barkhouse, another strong driver, mired back into a consolation race. Martin Landry as well. Terry Dugay, Kyle Abbott, Ashton Reiki, our very own Ashton Reiki, Chris Ewing, and a Travis Turple shotgun on the grid.
Line them up 2 by 2 all the way through. You can already see the pace car has the lights out. 1 to go here for the final consolation race here this evening. Tucker and Veitch on the front row. And once again, we've been kind of saying it a couple of times throughout the evening. These drivers are kind of able to utilize the extra laps out here in these heat races, in these consi races, to get some green flag conditions, kind of figure out what the tires are going to do after that run. But also these restarts are absolutely key, especially with these Legends cars. Very, very unique to drive, tough to hold on to, and very close to being identical. Very set up the exact same with all of these cars. Not even really able to change brake bias, we heard Brandon Campbell say earlier on in the final practice. But going to be a lot of fun. 75 laps in the big show. Going to find out which 6 of these 11 drivers going to transfer on into the show. Green flag flies, and that's where you want to restart from. P1, because that 32 car of Tucker is gone.
Tucker knows how to get it done from the front of the field. Ashton Tucker heads down the backstretch. He is not worried about what happens behind him. He is only looking for the checkered flag in this consolation race. Matt Barkhouse moves up a couple of spots. Got a driver spinning over in turn number 4. Terry Dugay going to go around, going to get clipped by a driver off 2. Caution flag comes back out. See Turple in the 8 is in the pit area, and Chris Ewing out of the event already.
Yeah, we'll take a quick peek at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. The 14 gets into the back of the 29. The 29 gets around just a little bit, kind of clips the back end of the car and sends that 14 up into the outside wall. A little bit of a tap, not a big hit. He puts it right into reverse, grabs a gear, and gets rolling once again. Going to rejoin the field here. Chris Ewing missing the start of the race, and Travis Turple looks to be parked in the garage area. So that's going to give us 9 drivers left in this Conti race. We're going to be taking 6 of them to the big show.
And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. 6 is the max that we are taking from this. There's not going to be any handouts. There's no handshakes. There's no, hey, maybe we could squeeze you in. Nope, that's it. Once we have our 21, it is set. And tonight here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Bullring, we've seen some great racing already. We're going to see a little bit more. Green flag back in the air. Ashton Tucker leading here in consolation race number 2.
Battle of the Lattes there for 2nd and 3rd. Busch Light Cars for the 15 of Matthew Barkhouse and the 12 of Justin Collison. Both drivers holding a very similar line, bumper to bumper right now. They're just kind of cruising right now. Colin Matthews, on the other hand, has a mirror full of a bunch of drivers who feel like they want to be in the top 6 and get their way into the big show here tonight.
Ashton Riki in the 26, trying to find a line to get around drivers like Danny Beach. That's not the line, though. He ends up collected with a couple of drivers. We'll see if the caution flag comes out. Don't know if they're going to throw one, but Terry Duguay, I'm sure, is frustrated with the way his night has gone. He has been in the wall a couple of times. Ashton Riki spins around again. He's not having a great night either. We'll find out how it ends in this one. We did see with Dave Horton having some bad luck, but let's check out the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Ashton Riki in the 26 sends it up high, tries to arc it down, but Terry Duguay is there in the 117 with some connection issues as well. Does end up upside down. Abbott into the pit area as well.
And then there were two drivers left on track, going to be getting the boot scoop. Taking 6 onto the main show here. You can see Ashton Riki rejoining the field. That car sounds a little bit off the pace, though. We will see how that holds on. Green flag once again for Ashton Tucker. Matthew Barkhouse going to get a good restart there as well, but he's side by side for second and third with Justin Collison.
Leaving the door open for Collison. Collison coming through with a head of steam. That Busch Light number 12 opens the door as well. Matt Barkhouse in behind in position number 3. Barkhouse is solidly in a transfer spot now. If he can just hold on for another half a lap, he'll be good. Terry Duguay going to run up the racetrack with Danny Veach. And Veach is going to spin. Ashton Tucker will come off 4. Checkers in the air. He'll win consolation race number 2. Justin Collison, Matt Barkhouse, Colin Matthews, Martin Landry, and Ashton Riki is going to qualify for the big show here tonight. Wow, folks at home, let's hear it. What a drive, what a rebound from the 26 of Ashton Riki.
Just by the hairs on his chinny chin chin, he was able to make that race. A little bit of ill handling for the 14 of Terry Duguay. Got up on the outside of the line there and spun around on that last lap. Ashton Riki going to race here this evening after a little bit of a warm-up, giving these drivers an opportunity to make sure everything's tight on the car, make sure everything's good to go, and they'll be locking themselves into those cars for 75 laps here at the Bullring at Las Vegas. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're live all over the internet. We're trying to take over the internet here at VidaneTV. We're on Facebook for both VidaneTV as well as Tim's Corner Motorsports. We're over on Twitch, twitch.tv/strictly94, and we're over on the YouTube page. Do a quick search for VidaneTV. It'll pop you right up with the app on the smart TVs, the tablets, the cell phones, your computer, your laptop, your neighbor's laptop, hey, your neighbor's Wi-Fi, wherever you're watching. We appreciate you. Just let us know where you're watching from. Hit that like, the subscribe, the follow, all that good stuff, and let us know that you're watching some entertaining iRacing action here on a Tuesday night. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. in the booth. Jesse Thompson with me here as well, and it's showtime. That clock has hit 0. We're getting ready to go feature racing here at the Bullring.
And of course, if you're not already on iRacing, head on over to iRacing.com and maybe check it out. See if you want to sign up or not. See what it's got to offer. Right, Paul?
Absolutely. Great to have newcomers jumping on into the iRacing service, especially early on in the year. Lots of cool events as well. The virtual Daytona 500 coming up here in a few weeks' time. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. We might do a little coverage with that here at VidaneTV. We will see. But in any sense, you can already see those drivers are getting lined up on the front straightaway. We are getting ready to rock and or roll one more time for some feature racing. Dave Cassidy in that 113 car going to start up on the pole. Chris Roma on his outside.
Yeah, then we got Josh Langell. Brianna Weigel, great start for her. She'll line up position number 4. Devin Laffin making up the top 5. And Brandon Campbell, keep an eye on this driver. He'll line up on the outside of row number 3.
Tanton Wooldridge wins at Slinger last night for the RBR Series. He's going to start in a P7. Carson Nagy going to be in a P8. The 13 car of Gula Fortune going to be in the 9th position. Colton Evernham going to roll off P10.
Ashton Tucker back in 11th. Craig Tully in position number 12. That's the first dozen of our Legends car competitors. We got Justin Collison, Dylan Black, and Matthew Barkhouse. Lucky number 15, starting position number 15.
Brandon Weigel in the number 69, going to roll off P16. Colin Matthews, Brett Byron, Martin Landry, Dave Horton, and we just saw Ashton Reiki barely make it in to the show, but he's going to round out the 21-car field here for this 75 lappers, the TCM US Legends Challenge here at Las Vegas. You can see lights out. We're getting ready to go racing up momentarily.
If you've got your snacks, you got your drinks, you got a cold beer, enjoy it. Enjoy wherever you are, sitting on the couch, checking things out on VidaneTV. 75 laps of United States legend car action ready to roll off here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Bullring. Dave Cassidy, Chris Roma through 3 out of 4. This time across the stripe, green flag in the air, and we are racing.
Front two side by side, about 3 wide, a little couple cars back. You got to figure it's going to be the Brandon Campbell machine. The 99 car is hunting the front in a big way, already in to the top 5, all the way down on the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to see if he can move himself up towards the front. Dave Cassidy still holding on to it. It looks like the front 3 or so have gotten it sorted out, but the caution flag going to fly early here on lap number 2.
Trouble early here at Las Vegas. We got a couple of cars involved in an incident. Oh, we got some retaliation as well. Looks like it might have been Brett Byron involved. Oh, heavy contact. Brianna Weigel, we were talking her up. Unfortunate contact there with, looks like that might have been the 22. And Weigel way up the racetrack, tries to cut it back, and Byron nowhere to go there. Martin Landry, an innocent bystander in that one. He ends up collected into the inside wall. So caution flag out for the first time in feature competition.
Up front, still going to be the 113 car of Dave Cassidy. Josh Langell there in second. Brandon Campbell all the way up to third in that 99 car. Oh, fourth, just kidding. Chris Roma is in third. Devin Laffin rounding out the top 5. Flirting in the 13 car in P6. Stanton Woldridge, Colton Evernham, Carson Nagy, and Justin Collison rounding out the top 10 here. A couple of laps in. Got to get all the cobwebs shaped out, and we'll get a little bit of green flag racing in. It's fun watching these Legends cars rip around. I believe this Bullring is about a third of a mile, if I'm not mistaken.
Thereabouts, third of a mile, 4/10, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's been real exciting here tonight, but you know what's exciting? New merch. Paul, I believe you got some new merch available. You want to tell the folks maybe where they can pick that up if they want to grab some?
Indeed, we do. Shoot on over to www.vidane.net. That's vidane.net. We've got the VidaneTV hooded sweatshirts. We've got the beanies over there. They come with that little pom-pom, the little fluff ball on the top. I'm not a big fan, so I cut mine off, and you can't even really tell. You just got to get a good sharp razor and cut that thing off. And the cat loves it, so it's good. It's a beanie and a cat toy for $25. You can't go wrong. But lots of other brands over in there. Yeah, Jesse.
That's fair. You know, you get 2 for the price of 1. So yeah, if you want to pick up any of that, head over to VidaneTV.net and grab some merch. Paul, we're going to line these drivers back up and send them back off one more time.
Here we go, green flag in the air, the 113 down on the bottom side, the 18 of Langell up on the top side. That middle groove seems to work for about a lap, and then you can see almost like the 18 car breaks concentration just a little bit. No, he's still in there. He basically went all the way up towards the wall to try and gain some momentum, and that's a risky move because that does in fact open up the bottom side of the racetrack.
The Langell brothers, no strangers to legend car racing in the real world, but Josh Langell in that 18 car, I've watched him. I've called a lot of races that he has ended up in victory lane for. I've seen him race a lot of times. He knows how to be there at the end. It's one of those Kevin Harvick type stories. You know, you're watching him throughout the race, kind of checking him out, and then about 10 laps to go, you go, oh goodness, he's up towards the front. And just like that, Josh Langell to the front of the field, and he's bringing the 99 of Brandon Campbell with him, and Guillaume Fortin, that 13 car, is hooked up tonight.
Biggest mover of the race is in fact that 013 car, 6 spots gained on the evening. And you see Langell, he's already gained himself a 0.3 of a second lead over the new second place car. Brandon Campbell up there as well, and you can see a lot of these drivers starting to kind of utilize that outside line just a little bit more rather than turning into the corners and scrubbing off so much speed. They're kind of letting it drift and taking an open entry, a wide entry into these corners to try and get themselves some momentum once they enter or exit. Rather, the corners there, you can see the 99 car really trying to hold on just a little bit higher than our leader, Josh Langell.
Josh Langell holds on to the position, about a half a car length between himself. It is bumper-to-bumper rush hour traffic here in Las Vegas. Brandon Campbell, the 99, all over him, but biding his time, trying to pressure him into a mistake maybe. Can't seem to get the drive up off the corner, but you know who does. In behind, Tanton Woolridge. Woolridge graduating up to the Pro Stock and Super Late Model ranks this season in that famous Trevor Lamb number 28 car, and Woolridge, no slouch with Legend Car Racing as well. And Josh Langell going to go around.
Saw a puff of black smoke as he went around there, too. I don't know if that was tire smoke or if he tried to grab a gear and pop that motor. It looks like he's still running, so that's definitely good news. It didn't look like the 18 hit anything as well. We're going to lose a bunch of track position here for the 18 car, just trying to find himself a different lane here where everybody else is not, to try and find just a little bit more grip. We'll take a look at it here on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay and take another look at it here from the chopper.
Things must be good at VidaneTV. We got our own chopper here tonight.
Well, technically, I guess it's a drone, but...
Oh, fair enough, fair enough. Very tiny chopper, as it were.
Yeah. The world's tiniest chopper.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tough break for Josh Langell there. That 18 car was real strong, but I think, and you might crucify me for this, I think he made a little bit of a mistake by searching for a lane so early on and maybe not just giving up the position and falling back in line. He was kind of searching up and down, all and over, and now he's going to find himself outside of the top 10. Looking at the timing and scoring now, Ashton Tucker already out of the race in 21st position. That is a tough break. We're going to see how this shapes up. 17 laps complete, about 58 left to go, give or take. My math comes out right, but we'll find out here. Green flag back in the air. Colton Evernham, talked about him earlier. That 48 car is hooked up, and the second place battle is really heating up tonight. Guillaume Fortin falls back into line, but trying to pressure that outside. Justin Collison in the 12 car towards the front of the field and up into the third spot. Carson Nagy on his way to the front of the field.
How about a little three-wide action mid-pack here, second half of the top 10 all over the place. There's the 08 car of black down on the bottom side. Nagy in the 93 kind of leading the pack. A little bit more three-wide with the 15 up in the middle. There's the 83 Aroma on the high side. Langell all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to race his way back up to the front after that spin just a few laps ago. You can see he's broken his way back into the top 10. Sights set on 9th right now. He's going to drive around the 83 car Aroma with ease.
Yeah, this is one of those deals where you're going to look in the mirror, you're going to look outside of the race car and see that 18 and think, well, that position's his. And you might fight him for a little bit, as Barkhouse and Roma are trying to do, but more than likely Josh Langell is going to head towards the front of the field now. We'll see if that CKG Elevators number 18 still has it under the hood. But Matt Barkhouse is going to pressure him something fierce into 3 out of 4 up the racetrack, and he'll lose ground to the 18 car.
Just to give you an idea of how hard these drivers are working to get these cars to stay pointed in the right direction here, Brandon Campbell, he's having himself a night. 2/10, down to a tenth of a second. Well, that lead vanished. Evernham going to take a shot down on the bottom side, see if he can take over the lead there. Gets the run down on the bottom side, has some momentum. Oh, Campbell up into the outside wall just a touch. That's going to knock him up just a little bit. Give us a new leader here, the 48 car to the point.
Colton Evernham, the dark horse of the evening, to the lead, and with good timing as well. 1/3 of the way through this one, and the caution flag comes out. Dave Horton, one of the drivers who snuck through in qualifying, ends up with a lot of damage. We'll see if we can find out here. The U-House Racing Designs, hooked and destroyed. Absolutely kersmuckled here tonight with that 73, and the Petro Can boys are going to have a lot of work cut out for them. Yeah, that car just got hooked Once again, folks, don't look directly at the rotations here on VidaneTV. You will get motion sickness, but not so much as that 73 car.
Absolutely Kersmuck. How do you spell Kersmuckled?
Well, you know what? We'll get the big whiteboard out after the race in the tech shed. I'll teach everyone how to spell Kersmuckled, and then eventually I'll sell the rights. We'll get some T-shirts made. We'll make this happen.
I keep making the joke. I got to get hooked up with AC4 over there at Pit Stop TV to get us hooked up with the Etch-a-Sketch, because I think we can educate the masses here on VidaneTV.
We can Etch-a-Sketchucate them. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway. Paul, we're having a great night here tonight on VidaneTV.
That's it. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and we're at the virtual Bullring here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A couple of drivers lined up here on the front row. Handful of drivers down on pit road. Brett Byron having some trouble in the 22. Dave Horton, Brianna Weigel down there as well. The 32 of Ashton Tucker, the first car to retire from the event. Looks like may not have even made it to lap 1. Earlier on, but everybody else 28 laps in, and everybody chasing down Evernham up in that 48 car, gained 9 spots from where he qualified. He's up on the point, and Brandon Campbell up there as well. He's made his way from outside of the top 5. He's going to hold on to that P2 spot as we come to the green flag.
Colton Evernham and Brandon Campbell, row number 1, just as he's done all evening long. Green flag in the air, but Brandon Campbell shuts the door on Fortin in the 13. And Evernham has the position down the backstretch, a couple of car lengths stretching out. And Campbell, I think he's probably going to be a little frustrated now. Thought he had something for him. He's got a lot of pressure in behind. That blue number 13 is all over him. But here comes Carson Nagy in car number 93. The 93 up into the top 5.
Clean air seems to be everything for these Legends cars. That and being able to get down a little bit more on the racetrack up as well. You can see these guys, they kind of get single file, do the little bit of single file racing. They're able to kind of stretch their line out just a little bit. That's tough to do when you're 2, 3, dare I say it, 4 wide here at the Bullring. Everybody's figuring it out up towards the front. They've got it sorted out, rather. Single file for the front 7, 8, 9, 10 or so cars. Second half of the top 10 and just on the outside, getting a little bit dicey, trying to move their way back up through the field.
Dave Cassidy started position number 1, finds himself in 11th at the moment. Knocking on the door of Chris Roma. Roma holds on to his own for now, but here comes Dylan Black with Betty White on the trunk lid, and Betty White trying to make St. Olaf proud and take that 08 car to the front of the field. Let's see. Betty White looks like she's having a great time with the 08, but Dylan Black, heavy contact. Fortin into the wall. Dave Cassidy sideways into him, and cars are stopped on the backstretch.
Yeah, that 13 car not having fun anymore. Going to call for the tow truck. That may very well be the end of the night for Fortin, who's up in the top 5. We'll take a peek. There you see, just coming in a little too hot to trot, grips the back end of the car up to the outside wall, gives it a little bit of a flip, and here comes Dave Cassidy in the 113 car. Really tough to get these cars woed up here on the binders, and kind of slides into the 13 for the additional damage. So that's a tough break for a pair of 13 cars towards the back of the pack.
Couple of questions. Is 13 a lucky or unlucky number in the state of Las Vegas? Or is the jury still out on that?
You know, I'm honestly not sure, because I always thought, like, when you talk about movies and everybody's always making the joke that there's no such thing as the 13th floor, I didn't know that was actually a thing. And then I flew for the first time, back in last month before, Thanksgiving. And I noticed there's no row 13 either on the airplane. So is the 13 actually unlucky? Or is it just really, really lucky and they don't want us to know about it?
Well, tonight it hasn't been very lucky. It has, and then it really hasn't. So, a tough break for those guys. Guillaume Fortin was really on a charge, up, 10 positions we saw. That 13 was hauling the mail, probably not too happy with Dave Cassidy. Cassidy took the low line and really found the side of that race car, and those drivers have ended up towards the rear of the field. So lights out on the pace car. It's Colton Evernham and Brandon Campbell once again on the front row. Justin Collison, Carson Nagy, Craig Tully in position number 5, Matt Barkhouse in the 6th spot, and there's Stanton Woolridge and Josh Langell. Keep an eye on those drivers in row number 4. We're going to bring these drivers back to the start box. The field has dwindled down, but the excitement is picking up past the halfway point. Green flag in the air, 36 laps left to go, and it's a little more even this time for Campbell in that 99 car, looking to pull even with Colton Everingham.
Yeah, you can see 99 making it work up on the high side. There you see that's going to block the momentum. The 48 going to drift on up in front, but watch Campbell. He drives a little bit higher into the groove. He's able to really pick up some momentum, but when he gets down to the end of the straightaway, loses that momentum, has nowhere to go with it, because that 48 has been drifting up into that high side. You can see Collison in that Busch Light Ride. The number 12 going to move on up into that second position, and there you can see coming into the left side of the picture, the number 50 of Craig Tully. So you can see that high side works. It seems like it works for a couple of laps, but as we get into it, we start to build some heat into the tires. The high side seems to go away just a little bit. There you see Stanton Woolridge going to get a little bit of a slide in on the 99, and Campbell going to take that spot back from Woolridge.
We'll have 32 laps left to go here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Bullring. Stanton Woolridge in a battle with the 99 and Brandon Campbell. They are gridlocked, glued together. They are snapped shut and trying to make something happen. Big save out of Matt Barkhouse back there. Carson Nagy was on the back bumper. They have settled that out, and the top 5 have driven away. Justin Collison to the front of the field. Here comes Craig Tully.
Colton Everingham up the track just a little bit. You can see drop the 2 spots back to 3rd into the clutches of Brandon Campbell, who's going to lose that spot to Stanton Woolridge now. They've swapped that position back and forth. There's another swap there. The 99 going to go down on the bottom side. These guys putting on a clinic here as far as Legends Cars racing go in the iRacing service, racing for this top 5 spot.
Josh Langell closing in that 18 car. We got a good battle up towards the front of the field. Craig Tully thinks about the inside, knocks on the door, sees if anyone's home. There's a light on. There goes Craig Tully to the front of the field. Colton Everingham back to the 3rd spot. Brandon Campbell looks for some momentum side by side as they cross the stripe. 28 laps left to go. Brandon Campbell has got to get going. Time is running out if he wants to end up on the top spot at the checkers of this one.
Tully holding on to the lead for right now. You can see Justin Collison taking a shot down low, nothing there. Going to tuck back into the tire tracks of the number 50 car. Little bit of a stretch on back to Campbell there. And the 99 car running in a P3. Everingham gathers himself back up, running in the 4th spot. Josh Langell, Carson Nagy, Stanton Woolridge, all these guys. Chris Roma, Matt Barkhouse joining the fight here as well. The second half of the top 10, you can throw a blanket over them. They're all right up in there. A couple of drivers up into the outside wall, just enough to get the dust to fly. These guys know we are running out of laps. 25 to go here at the stripe.
The folks in Chelmsford, Massachusetts at the iRacing headquarters, they did a great job with this car so many years ago. It has held on and has provided excitement for 15 plus years. We are seeing that here tonight. Craig Tully out to almost a 0.4 of a second lead over the Busch Light number 12. Justin Collison and Brandon Campbell solidly in 3rd. The 18 of Josh Langell holds on to 4th at the moment. Carson Nagy is giving him the business, and here comes Colton Everingham. He had the lead. He had this thing wrapped up and has fallen back ever so slightly. He is not going to be thrilled about that. Colton Everingham knocking on the door of the top 5 once again.
And you can see we're 2 by 2 for a couple of rows here, mid-pack on back. They get it sorted out on the front straightaway. 23 laps to go here. Stanton Woolridge down on the bottom side. Chris Roman, the 83, up on the top side. The 08 of Dylan Black there as well. You can see these guys really swapping positions, trying to utilize the entirety of the racetrack. A little bit of contact between Roma and Black. They get it all sorted out. Doesn't look like either driver lost any kind of momentum, but that's going to be something we'll keep an eye on to see if there's any kind of receipt later on. Brett Byron off the track. Looks like that 22 car has some damage. That's going to bring out the yellow for the 5th time here this evening.
Second-gen driver Brett Byron in that 22. We'll check out the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. We'll see what happens here. Oh, Brendan Weigel. They had a throwdown of sorts. A couple of touches there. Gets underneath, up the racetrack. And I guess cleared himself? I guess?
Not quite clear. Not quite clear.
They call that clear with contact.
Yeah. Well, now he's clear.
Yeah, he's clear now. Yeah, he's good now, but
now he's clear by 7.
At the expense of the 22 car, who I'm sure is, like a lot of drivers, not thrilled about that one.
How about this? Colton Evernham in the 48 car coming down pit road. I'm not sure if we have tires down there, but maybe some damage repaired for the 48 car.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Maybe some sort of... I don't know. You can't really adjust the setup on these race cars here tonight, but maybe
He's putting tires on it.
He's putting tires on. Well, there you go. That's going to be a chance to re-rack himself mentally and try to get back through this field. 19 left to go as we run at the moment, but the laps will click off under these cautions, so he's got to get going as soon as possible. Brandon Campbell back out on the racetrack as well. We'll find out how they're all going to line up here. But, Paul, this has been very, very exciting. Legend car action here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Bullring.
Yeah, been a long time since we've covered any Legends car racing here on VidaneTV, and we need some more of it. It's been a blast calling this race here this evening at the Bullring. Pace car going to take that trip down to the safety of pit road one more time, and we're going to line up, well, we're already lined up 2 by 2. There's that green flag from Bubbles up in the flag stand. The 50 car of Tully didn't quite go. He's going to park it in victory lane, but that's after a shove there on the start. Going to bring the caution flag right back out for the number 50 car. Looks like, I don't know if he missed the gear, spun the tires.
Hard to say what happened. Let's check out the replay provided by the folks at U-House Racing Designs. So the world's smallest chopper back out in the air, and we're going to find out here. Brandon Campbell giving him a lot of nudges like it's old school MSN, and one nudge too many into the inside wall, and Tully will be shaking the virtual fist at the 99 car, I'm sure, on that one. Race control will not be happy as well.
Yeah, we'll see where that sorts itself out. The driver's driving around to catch up with the pace car, it looks like. Justin Collison going to hold on it to the lead, I think. What are we doing? There's the pace car. Okay.
There's the pace car. That Ford Mustang is pretty quick, but maybe a little too quick, you know.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, he got out there. He thought he was racing. But we're going to gather the field back up here.
You know what we should do? Tim will have a coronary trying to put this together, but we'll take the Legend cars. We'll take them across the parking lot. Let's put them on the big track. Let's do that. That would be a show.
Now, see, I like that. And I thought I had seen everything, but being down in Daytona for Kart Week here just a few weeks ago with Pit Road TV and all those guys, Tony Stevens and them, we're recording this little short track with the go-karts on it, and then all of a sudden in the background I hear, and they were racing go-karts on Daytona RC, the big Daytona road course, and they were doing about $1.75, and I really wanted to try it just one time.
Do you think the insurance company would let you?
God, probably not.
Maybe they don't have to know. You know what? They don't have to know.
That's it.
So we've got a good view here, good virtual crowd here tonight checking out the action. As far as Legend car races go, I know it's base content. It's what you kind of get your feet wet in until they, I'd like to see them add Bandoleros to the iRacing service, but that might be a little bit messy. But the Legend cars are a great stepping stone to getting into bigger and faster race cars. But the action has been pretty hot here tonight in Las Vegas.
Yeah, for sure. And just like the iRacing service, these Legends cars come with the package. So you get a couple of short tracks. So if you wanted to try this out at home, iRacing.com get yourself signed up. We're racing. We're green flag once again. It looks like the 99 of Campbell may have taken the tap. He's going to restart in the back of the pack. That's going to open up the front row for a new driver. Nagy going to take the spot. Collison's going to hold on to the lead as they head into 3 and 4. He's going to be coming to the stripe to 10 laps to go here at the Bullring.
65 complete and 10 to go. Justin Collison has done everything right here tonight in that Busch Light car. Poet didn't even know it, but that 12 car has been strong. Carson Nagy, I think, is starting to put the pressure on him, but doing everything he can to hold on to second for the moment. Josh Langell had the lead early on, but was up into the top 2 at least. And Josh Langell, Matt Barkhouse is going to go around down the backstretch. The other Busch Light car is going to find himself backwards. He'll grab a gear and keep going. We stay green, and Collison holds on to the lead. 8 laps left to go, but Carson Nagy is making him work for it.
All over the back bumper now is the 93 car. We'll see if we can get a good onboard shot here with that. We'll take an onboard shot here with Langell. He's got a front row to that battle for the lead, and that's exactly what he wants to see. He wants to see these guys get a little side by side. You can hear the tires screaming in the background as he's trying to get that thing to stay on the top side or on the bottom side. Evernham in the 48 car going to pass him like he's standing still down on that bottom side of the racetrack. The 48 car, remember, he came down, he took tires. Holy moly, that's the move of the race for Evernham.
Colton Evernham wasting no time in the rear end of this one. 70 laps complete, 5 laps to go. Where did Colton Evernham come from? Back to the front of the field.
From about 15th, as it were. That 48 car, we questioned the call coming down with just a few laps to go to take those tires down on pit road. That may very well have been the move, because you can see he's got 0.6 of a second now over that second head. Big contact.
Carson Nagy and Josh Langell get together. Both of their races are going to come to an early end. I don't think they're going to have the luck that Colton Evernham had, but let's see here. The replay provided by U-House Racing Designs. And Langell might come down a little bit. Nagy might come up a hair. Yeah, that might have just been a racing incident. Trying to defend. Yeah, that just didn't work for either of them.
Going for the same piece of real estate late in this one. Going to line ourselves up for a green-white checkered. And this is going to be interesting. With 2 laps to go, I don't think we're done wrecking yet. And seeing just how quick that 48 car came up through the field in less than 5 laps time with those fresh tires, do you come down and get tires?
I don't. Yeah, but when he did that, he had about 15 laps left to go in the race. Now we're going to have 2 or 3. I don't think there's going to be enough time to even gamble on tires, and some drivers would have done it by now, but Colton Evernham, it's like he got to one car and threw them aside. Got to another car immediately, threw them aside. Got to the lead, threw it aside. Didn't matter. Back to the front. Didn't waste any time. These legend cars, you talked about it, they're probably not done wrecking. And if you're new to iRacing, well, this is the kind of racing you'll see in official races as well. It's going to be close. Justin Collison on the outside trying to play some restart games. See if he can get the advantage on Colton Evernham. Green flag in the air, side-by-side battle. Evernham might have thrown that start away. Justin Collison up the racetrack. Side-by-side battle down the backstretch. One more time, we are going to see the white flag this time. Justin Collison to the front of the field. Evernham's going to get turned, coming to the white flag.
And they did not get the white flag, so we're going to restack, re-rack one mo again. Get another attempt at a green-white checkered, and that is a tough spot to be in when you're the 48. Driving up through the field and unfortunately getting caught up in that one. We'll take a look at it here on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Hard racing up in the top 5, trying to get up to the lead. There you see the contact from the last time we were under caution.
Yeah, I think that was the previous incident. They seemed good coming to the line, and it seemed like, the 48 just got hooked. Ashton Reiki going for a tumble. The 93 of Carson Nagy ends up in the wall. Martin Landry, I believe, in that 29 car. Yeah, he ends up backwards. I think he's been more backwards than forwards tonight.
Yeah, you can see just how many cars are up in this one, and kind of a chain reaction from mid-pack on back. And there you see a couple of separate incidences even throughout the field here as well. Whoa, barely skating on through the last couple of cars in there. Josh Langell going to come down pit road. Colton Abraham looks to be done for the evening in that 48, still sitting there on pit road as well. So the Busch Light Ride, the number 12 of Justin Collison holding on to the lead. Brandon Campbell now back up to P2. Dylan Black, Tanton Woolrich, and Chris Roma going to be the top 5 as they run for green-white checkered attempt number 2.
Collison, he's got Busch Light on the car. I'm sure he's got a couple of Busch Lights in the fridge ready to celebrate this one, but Brandon Campbell wants to take that away. The 99 lined up to the outside. Dylan Black and Betty White inside of row number 2. Tanton Woolridge on the outside. Chris Roma. Could Chris Roma end up on the podium? How about Dave Cassidy? Driver who fell back a little bit further after starting position number 1. Dave Cassidy could end up with a good finish here tonight. We are down to the last few laps, the last few drivers, and the last few bits of patience. Green flag in the air. Collison jumps out to the lead, playing defense, letting the drivers sort it out in behind them. Down the backstretch one final time. And the 12 car drops it to the inside. We got one up and over into the fence. White flag in the air. Collison has taken the white flag. I think race control is just going to let things happen as they may. Down the backstretch one final time. The Tim's Corner Motorsports Legend Car Challenge here on iRacing, here on VidaneTV. It's going to go to Justin Collison.
The Busch Light car home, bringing home the victory. Gonna skate on around, do us a little bit of a burnout, and put on a show for the fans here at the virtual Bullring. Here we'll take a look at that finishing order. Dylan Black finishing in second. Brandon Campbell, easy enough for me to say, there in third, and that's going to give us our post-race show. We'll talk to those drivers momentarily. David Cassidy going to finish in fourth. Chris Roma going to come home with the top 5. Martin Landry, Colin Matthews, Carson Nagy, Brandon Weigel, and Devin Laffin going to be the top 10 unofficially here at the Bullring.
Yeah, Brandon Campbell back down a lap in this one, position number 11. He was knocking on the door of a great finish here tonight, but he will end up just outside the top 10. Ashton Reiki, I think that was the driver barrel rolling on the last lap. Josh Langell, Colton Evernham in 14th. Thought he might have been one of the drivers to win here tonight. Brett Byron ends up with a top 15 finish. We got Tim Terry here. Tim, I'm sure it was a busy night for you up in race control.
Busier than expected. The first half of that race went really, really well, Jesse. Proud of those guys. Just a clarification, Brandon Campbell alt F4 at the end of the race, and apparently he alt F4 just that millisecond right before the start-finish line. So results is probably Paul has him on the screen stands. Brandon finishes at the end of the lead lap. It moves Woolridge up to the top 3. So we'll drag some guys in here and you can talk to them. By the way, little story from earlier, Justin Collison said, how do I get into the showcase? There's no qualifier anymore. I said, you got to go and win the race. So I guess he called his shot tonight.
Well, there you go. That's the way to do it. And just like that, he has rolled into the production trailer. He is going to talk to us, our winner tonight, Justin Collison. Justin, you had a lot of pressure there in the last few laps, but really made it work with a 2-car team effort here tonight. I know your teammate had some bad luck here tonight, but you had a great showing.
Yeah, it was all right. I'm actually just surprised we pulled this off. I suck at these cars, but yeah, I definitely was getting a little nervous there on those last couple of restarts because everybody I know started taking tires. So I didn't know I didn't have the fast car. We just had to hold them off.
And you saw Colton Evernham late in the race. That 48 car took tires and was hooked up and driving by guys and leaving them for dead on the middle of the Las Vegas highway. He was taking guys to school and then ended up tore up at the end of that one, and that opened the door back up for you to retake the lead.
Yeah, I'm actually real thankful I didn't get caught up in that because that was a little bit of a hairy situation that was going on there. But no, it worked out. Kind of glad it did. Haven't made it into the showcase yet the last 3 years, so now we're actually in it this time.
Well, now is your big chance to go and win the showcase, as it were, and you get to celebrate a little bit tonight. I'm sure you got some Busch Lights in the fridge, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely got a bunch of them.
Well, who else got it done for you here tonight? A two-car effort for you guys with Matt Barkhouse as well. I know you got the similar color schemes. I assume you guys are teammates, but who got it done for you here tonight?
Actually, no, I don't know who Barkhouse is. We just happen to have two paint schemes tonight. But no, I just got to thank everybody running me clean. Obviously, Tim Terry for putting this event on all the time because every year it's always a great times with everybody. And obviously, you guys here at VidaneTV.
And how are you going to celebrate if you win the showcase in a couple of nights' time?
Go work on the race car.
Well, there you go. A little bit of motivation to get the real world race car a little faster and back to victory lane as well. I see the profile picture here with the checkered flag, so you know how to get it done here tonight.
Oh yeah, can't wait for the real race season to start.
Well, folks, that's Justin Collison, your winner here tonight, the TCM Legends Challenge at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Bullring. Justin, we'll see you back here in a couple of nights' time.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys.
And that's Justin Collison. Second place finish here tonight for Dylan Black. Had Betty White on the trunk lid, and I think that gave him a little bit of luck. Dylan, that was a great showing for you guys as well. Probably not up towards the front of the field for as much of the race as you would like, but made it happen when it counted.
Yeah, surprised we even made it to second, to be honest. I don't like driving these things.
Absolutely, and this is a an interesting racetrack as well. It's not the easiest to get around. There's a lot of room, but not really a lot of room to get by, guys.
Yeah, it seemed kind of one-laned all night there. It's hard to get work anything on the outside.
Had to come up through the field. Had quite a few cautions as well. We're looking at some footage here. The 26 Vaston Riki rolling on the last lap. It was definitely wild there for a lot of the race.
Oh yeah, right from start to finish, it was interesting, to say the least.
Well, a second place effort for you tonight is nothing to hang your head about. It was a great showing for you and Betty White. What's the story on that anyway? To have Betty White on the car.
Just something I found on Trading Paints last minute.
Well, you know what? She's got a little bit of good luck. The pride of St. Olaf, Minnesota, from the old Golden Girls. She made it happen for you. Who else made it happen for you here tonight?
Yeah, Tim for putting on this series, obviously. The sponsors like Craig from Tulco, Ashton from Wingnut, and yeah, just everybody that comes out and makes this thing work.
Well, Dylan, we'll let you celebrate the great run you had here tonight. Enjoy yourself tonight, and we'll see you back here soon.
All right, great, thanks.
That's Dylan Black with a second place run here tonight and a third place effort for driver number 0, a guy who knows how to get it done in the real world with Bandoleros, legend cars up to the super late model ranks now. We've talked a number of times before. Tant Woolridge, great to see you back on the podium here tonight.
Yeah, thank you. It was an interesting, very, very good, aggressive race, but no, I'm happy to be here. It was definitely a long night. We went to the back. I think I think it was 2 times. So I'm just happy we were able to recover at the end.
It's an interesting story with your finish because you had P4 locked up, and then Brandon Campbell had a bit of an issue with some of the controls, some of the service. He ends up on the tail end of the lead lap. I think he's the first car 1 lap down outside the top 10. You get promoted to P3. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It might have been a connection issue. I know sometimes he struggles with that, and like myself, I've struggled with it tonight. Actually, huge prop to my roommate. He did everything that he could to get some internet connection because I had like 233 ping right before the race. So, he went in, reset our router. He reset the power line. He went into my task manager. He adjusted all that, and all of a sudden something works. So, I guess I was able to get it figured out, and I was lucky to get that, and then I was lucky that somebody else's connection dropped. But I'd way rather finish 4th in an earned 4th than a lucked into 3rd. So it is what it is. I'm happy that we got there because I made a pretty big mistake early on tagging Josh. I've been trying to find a better balance. I think sometimes in the real world, I play a little bit too much of Mr. Nice Guy. So I've been trying to find that balance of racing clean, but also not giving up too much. So it's turned into a lot of mistakes in the sim, but I'd much rather learn it on here than whenever you're driving against somebody who might be in a 20, 30, 40, even $100,000 race car. So I'm just happy that we were able to get through it tonight.
Yeah, definitely. You've had some great battles in the real world with Josh Langell. Had a great battle with him tonight as well. You guys put on a great show.
Thank you, and I got to give a huge props to mom and dad. I mentioned last night on the Super Late Model Series race that we're going to Citrus County Speedway, and I thanked all my sponsors and everyone that's helped me get there. But one of the big ones is mom and dad and my grandfather. They've been driving me around to racetracks all over Atlantic Canada for the past, believe it or not, 11 years now. So huge thanks to them. And as much as sponsors are going to help with the cost, they're digging out of their pocket too. I've dug out of mine to get a legend car, but really big thanks to them, and they don't always get it all the time.
Well, you and I are going to cross paths quite a bit this summer, which is going to be exciting as always. Great to see you guys at the racetrack whenever we can. It was a great effort here tonight. Good to see you back on the podium. Anybody else you'd like to thank last minute here?
Yeah, I mean, just a big thank you to Tim Terry, Paul Strickland for putting these on. I think there's somebody named Paige who does some race control. Big thank you to them, and as well the RBR series for putting on what they do. I know a lot of times in the real world, people get frustrated with tracks booking on top of other tracks or tours trying to take up other tour dates. I know it's gotten better this year, but for the iRacing side, I mean, that can be kind of the same thing. You can't really battle with each other. So they've done a good job of setting up 2 series that you can run on different nights. So thank you to both series, everyone that puts these on, and really excited to get on track in 2024, hopefully with the Super Late Model Series and as well on a legend car.
Well, congratulations on a great run here tonight. Best of luck with your 2024, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Jesse.
That's Tanton Woolridge, third place run here tonight for the Summerside Princess Edward Island driver. Well, Paul, that I believe that's going to wrap it up here pretty soon. I saw Tim Terry peeked his head back in. Tim, let's talk a little bit about what you saw here tonight.
We saw great racing for the most part. We had a couple of issues that we had to figure out at the back of the field on a couple of those yellow flags, but ultimately it's last races of the season that we're doing. So good to see the good car count. We had 30 cars here tonight, qualified 21. We'll try it all over again with the showcase and the selects race coming up on Thursday. We're going to start the selects race at 7:45 Atlantic. We'll roll the showcase presented by Tolco Electric at 9. And then we'll roll on. Tomorrow night, we've got Tim's Corner Live. We've got a packed show. We got Wayne Smith. We've got Jackie Tanner. And we've got Bubbles Bronson, Ashton Reeke's favorite flagman. Bubbles Bronson's going to join us tomorrow night and chat a little racing. So looking forward to that. And yeah, we've got racing on Thursday. And then we get ready for the real season and all that fun stuff. So looking forward to it. Jesse, great to have you in. Always love having you on our shows. Do you want to say something, Ashton?
No, that was, I know the season's not over, but all in all, points-wise, that was a lot of fun to be involved with, Tim. So I appreciate you letting me come on board and help out with that. And thanks, Paul, for putting on the shows every week. I apologize. I did not bring you a hot dog or a
I was going to
pork
ask
sandwich.
the important question after A, your most impressive finish here in a TCM finish with a P13 and flipping
P12,
all those
P12.
times. P12. Okay, P12. And flipping all those times on the last lap. The most important question, did you grab my hot dog?
I didn't. The canteen was closed after we put the wrecked race car in the trailer.
Well, better luck next time, I guess. We'll have to grab one Thursday night because we're racing 4 nights a week tonight, this week. Holy cow. It's been a long night, and it hasn't even been that late yet. Tomorrow night, back at it once again. Tim's Corner Motorsports going to be live over on the Tim's Corner Motorsports page. We're going to be doing a little bit of Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing Series on VidaneTV. Be sure to check that out as well. We will catch you on the flip side, and when we do, we will be doing it live.
Doing it live.